All right, this is Dominick Izzo. This is the Bull of MLM Network Marketing Warfare Podcast. All right, we're going to go over another video today to find out how we can solve this problem. Because over the last several weeks, I've been going in deep with the anti-MLM community, and I think the massive theme is it's so built on emotion, right? It seems like that these people have poured their hearts and their souls in this industry. I blame their uplines because they're giving out misinformation where it's just recruiting. You can't make your money without recruiting. This business is direct sales. You have to have sales skills. So I want to know, why is it that they claim they're at the top 1%, top 2%, and then they quit? It makes no sense to me why you would be making $5, $6, $7 grand a month and then quitting in an industry that you don't need college education for, that it is sales, it is building, it is pouring yourselves into others. So I want to keep going forward with this, and I'm going to look at another. This is Christy Flickinger. Her video is top 1% to anti-MLM, many red flags. And I want to listen to what she has to say. I listened to about 2 minutes of it. Her delivery, I liked it. I'm like, all right, let's hear what she has to say. And let's see if I can I want to be able to answer what her issues may have been. And let's take a look at this together.
Hello there, and welcome to my channel. My name is Christy Flickinger, and I am so thankful that you are here. I was in the top 1% of paparazzi and recently left after I recognized some red flags that I had previously ignored. Today's video, I'm just going to share.
I get the culture. I was in law enforcement and I left because the culture was abhorrent. So I will never, ever, ever fault somebody for leaving a culture. But what I will fault, unlike law enforcement, you can't really create your own culture because you got chiefs and deputy chiefs, command staff above you. Network marketing, you can create your own culture. That's one thing that I want to know, if these people, that they didn't have that or did have that ability. I do know in some network marketing teams, until you hit a certain volume of people underneath you, you cannot branch off and create your own team. So I know that that's a problem, but I don't have a problem so far with, all right, culture's bad, red flags, I got to go. Fine. The industry has a culture problem, and we want to change that.
Share my story very briefly with you and explain and talk about some of the red flags that I saw. Feel free to like this video, subscribe to my channel, hit that bell button if you would like to be notified when I post new videos. I'm going to be mostly anti-MLM content on this channel. I don't know if you are a Sims fan, but I am going to be doing the 100 Baby Challenge and have been asked that you come alongside of me with this challenge. So I will also be posting those videos here if you are interested. You can also find me on Instagram. I am Kirsty Marie. All right, so let's go ahead and dive on in then. I will briefly explain my story for you. Please put your commentary down below, any questions that you have. So I began paparazzi 5 years ago. I had just had my son, and I was scrolling Facebook late one night when I was feeding him for the 100th time that day, and I saw somebody's replay. They were live on Facebook selling jewelry, and was instantly interested because she was making money from her couch. She would hold up a piece of jewelry and instantly sell it, and I was completely intrigued by this. My entrepreneur heart do a little happy dance, because I pictured myself staying at home with my baby and doing the same thing. So after the video, I sent her a message just asking her some questions about the business, how to get started.
That's marketing. So that's successful marketing. What this woman did was she put content up and you reached out to her. That's marketing. So that's already, I want to go, I don't want to lay all this stuff out there, but I want to go line by line here, because if this is going to be anti-MLM, first things first, that was a 100% successful goal, is for creators to put out content and for people to fill their own funnel like that. So that's pure success.
Started and all those things. Simultaneously, I also talked to my husband about it and just told him that I was thinking about selling this jewelry. And it kind of surprised him because I'm not really a jewelry person, but in classic Caleb fashion, he told me to research the company. He said that I'll support you in whatever you do. Make sure that this is what you want to do.
My one suggestion too, when you get involved with network marketing, if you're going to, is it for everyone? Jewelry is a niche business. It's going to be hard. So, I mean, great for her husband to say that. That's supportive. Be supportive. Take a look into this. All right. If she was with us for 5 years too, okay, that's pretty friggin' impressive. Jewelry's a niche business. The only time I get involved with the network marketing companies I've been with is, does everybody need this product, if you will? And the way that I wind up teaching it is, that's why we do business first, because we teach 3 C's, right? Cash, commerce, and culture. Well, the culture everybody needs. Cash flow everybody needs. Does everyone need the product? So you typically can take those first 2, culture and cash flow. You can apply it to a niche business, but this already is an uphill battle on this. So we'll keep going.
So I did research on paparazzi. Again, this was 5 years ago. I don't think anti-MLM content was very prevalent back then, but I did not see anything, honestly, that gave me any red flags. I didn't see any negative.
It was. The anti-MLM has been around for decades. The 80s, the 1980s, and the 1990s ruined this business. People ranted about getting rich quick, and all you have to do is blah, blah, blah. I talk about my last upline where I kept saying you can't say all you have to do is recruit 2 people. It takes some time. I've had people who've gone a year and haven't recruited 2 people because people are afraid to talk to people. They're afraid of rejection. They don't know how to invite. Hey, I called all my contacts. How many people did you call? 10? That's all your contacts? People are full of fucking excuses why this industry will not work. And she hasn't gotten to why it hasn't worked yet, but I want to put off the bat that people will come up, and when they find out, oh, I have to contact people and call them and daily do work to wind up filling my funnel, and I got to get rejected, they immediately look for reasons why this business will fail.
Negative remarks. I didn't see any negative experiences, really any YouTube videos about why not to join this company.
And you fast forward to today, and that's where a ton of shit is. There's a ton of fucking people out there who are they're all young. They're all young. I haven't seen a single person over 30, 35 who has actually worked for a living rip on network marketing. They're all kids in their 20s.
So based off of all of the information that was presented, I thought this would be a good fit for me and my family. Honestly, I joined paparazzi because I needed a community. Struggling with postpartum depression, pretty hardcore. Recently.
Great fucking reason. Bad choice. Because the network marketing industry is filled with some fucking scum people. The network marketing community, it is filled with people who want the spotlight. They'll befriend you, talk about you behind your back. Everybody's sleeping with one another. I wish that she had, seen content I put out earlier, because this is a problem in this industry. So I understand the justification for it, but the network marketing industry community, it's pretty shitty.
Yeah. Changed churches, lost a bunch of friends, felt very lonely and isolated, and I thought that paparazzi would clear that up for me. I did not necessarily need the money. My husband had a really good job. I also worked full-time, so this was just a hobby for me and also for community.
Can't take a business, and this is number one, the mindset, and I'm not blaming her on this, right? If it's going to be a hobby, you can't, and she hasn't gotten into her story yet. If that's your mindset, it's a hobby, then you should have stayed there. That's red flag number one. You can't continue forward into a business if it was just a hobby to begin with. It's not right. Now, you didn't go into it with the proper mindset. It may have changed. I'm hoping to hear that, but we'll hear.
So just a quick rundown on my ranks and my sales. The first year I hit Life of the Party Bronze. If you're not familiar with paparazzi, they have kind of an achievement system based off of your sales. Ironically, though, it's not really based off of your sales. It's based off of how much jewelry you buy from paparazzi. There's really no...
Typically with the network marketing concept, that is sales. So if you're buying, and it's going to be based off of points, right? I'm assuming. If I'm wrong on this, I'm wrong on this. Are they saying you personally need to buy $1,000 worth of product per month? Or was it you have to buy $1,000 worth of product a month to sell? Because that was where your starting point is at. Were you holding on to that like you're the main hub and a distributor now? In network marketing, it 100% is direct sales. No company out there, not one, not a single network marketing company out there, to my knowledge, ever says the more you buy, the more we'll pay you. That doesn't make sense. Now, they have point systems. Every single network marketing company I've ever been with, you buy more, you get more points. You get more points, you get a higher volume of percentage of whatnot. But that is still, it's my prerogative then. Do I want to make more money? Okay, then I've got to get more people to buy the product. I've got to get more people to enroll and become brand partners with the company to take their own product. Ultimately, the bottom line is always, always, always getting more product from the shelves in the warehouse of where corporate is into the hands of consumers. And those consumers are either customers or they're people who've joined the business who are their own customers. It's always the case. I want to hear what more she has to say about this, but that's the goal. It's always how much you sell. So did you sell it to yourself and buy it, or did you have to distribute it and get customers?
Need to provide proof of your sales to qualify for this achievement. You basically purchase a certain amount of jewelry from your back office.
There you go.
And that qualifies you for the Life of the Party ranks.
What'd you do with it? Did you sell it? Did you have to sell it? You purchase it. Did you buy it at cost and then sell it? See, I want to know what the structure for this was. Was it you buy it for $5 and then you're going to sell it for $10? These are things that these people, you have to tell us as you go, because you're limiting your experience for what this was. That's what liquor stores do when they buy from vendors. That's what anybody does. I'm a cigar owner, right? My cigar, there's cost, how much I pay for it, but if it goes on the shelf somewhere, there's a markup for the distribution, the delivery, the postage. There's a ton of stuff that's business. And to make a profit. Let's continue.
In the PMP, it does say that, you only purchase jewelry that you are going to need to sell to your customers. So
there you go. There you go. You're going to purchase what you're going to sell. So my assumption is you're buying it at a certain dollar amount and then you're upcharging to make money. You became a partner with that company to be able to have that right to sell their product. So basically, you were a brick and mortar store, because if this was like Claire's, is Claire still around? Okay. And Claire's liked jewelry I made the jewelry. I charged Claire's $5 for this jewelry. They charge $15 to make the money back that they lost from me and to profit for the store.
So how often does that really happen though? For me,
defeatist attitude. Okay, we'll continue with that one. How often does it really happen? That's a numbers game. That's how often you work. How many hours a day are you putting? How good are your skills on selling? That's a big problem.
Though it was a very personal conviction that I only purchased jewelry based off of my sales. I did not join this business to go into debt. Again, like I mentioned, we were doing very well, and I just did not think it would be a good idea to just purchase a bunch of jewelry when I didn't know what the outcome would be.
So that's being a business owner. So you didn't have to. You said this was being a hobby. All right, you're on the right track. Please don't tell me you bought $1,000 worth of jewelry and you didn't have the ability to sell it properly. Did you not? I mean, I don't know if you put yourself up. Were you looking at vendors where you can go to college campuses or what are they? Those summer fest sales where you could have a table, put your stuff out and sell. And again, you're in a niche market where if 100 people come around, maybe 3 people will buy it. So you know that your inventory is going to be low, or your personal inventory is going to be high. Your sales is going to be low. So you had to have known all this in the beginning, I'm hoping.
So every piece of jewelry that I did purchase came from my sales. So with that being said,
Okay, so that's putting money back into the business, right? So any brick and mortar, I owned a gym for 3 years, 2,700 square foot gym. Cost me $3,800 a month to rent. That's from the rent, the electric bill, the gas for the heat in this wintertime, water bill, everything, right? Everything that came in from dues, from YouTube income that we have, went back into the operating costs of the business. That's how it goes first before you pay yourself a paycheck. So you're talking about business. Everything you sold went back into replenishing your inventory. If you ran a traditional brick and mortar, you made coffee mugs. What you're doing then is you got a coffee mug you make for $5 and you sell it, right? So somebody sells it. Now you got to ship it. What's the postage on that? You got to put it in a box. How much is the box going to cost to ship it out there? How much did the advertising cost? Did it cost you $3 to take out a Facebook ad to do that? Whatever the cost was to get in their hands, maybe it was $15 total. So that covered the cost of the mug being made, covered the other $8 it took to ship, right? And then maybe you got a little bit of a profit, but you're going to take that to buy more ads to promote more coffee mug sales. That's why this is transactional, right? This is sales. This is also like affiliate marketing. Why affiliate marketing, people go right to that because there's less work to do. It's just point, click my ad, and then you're not responsible for all that stuff. So far you're in a typical sales, replenish the inventory to perpetuate a cycle. It's transactional. It's one and done. That's not what we like to focus on in network marketing.
First year I hit Life of the Party bronze. That means I sold 2,500 pieces of jewelry.
Congratulations.
The next year was gold. That means that I purchased 7,500 pieces of jewelry. The last 2 years.
Okay, so you went from 2,500 in 1 year and you more than doubled it the next year. What we really need to look at is how much time and effort did you put in for your first year? Let's just say it took you 5 hours a week to sell. Why did you not incrementally go up? All right, I sold 2,500 this year. I'm going to go for 3,000 next year. I'm going to increase my hour time, because you'd have to more than double your efforts to make that happen. That's an extremely aggressive move to go from 2,500 to 7,500.
Because yes, I was in it 5 years, but I didn't finish the calendar paparazzi year. So I qualified for 2 more years of Life at the Party. That was Life at the Party Platinum. That means that I sold 12,500 pieces of jewelry.
Outstanding.
Those years.
Outstanding.
So I did have very high sales. It came at a cost though. I hit almost 6 figures the past 2 years in my sales. And I was live 3 to 4 nights a week selling this jewelry, live on Facebook. That was where my business was primarily held. Live on Facebook 3 to 4 nights a week, strictly selling the jewelry. And then I would also do picture sales, that kind of thing.
That's exhausting. That's a lot of work. And she hasn't even talked about her network yet. It's part of the reason why you want to build a team, is because many hands make light work. She's doing all the direct sales right now. Now, her video is anti-MLM. I haven't heard anything MLM yet. I've only heard direct sales. She purchases from the company. She distributes. If you're a mom, you just have your kid. This is a hobby, and you tripled your inventory in your first year. After your first year, and you're already going live 3-4 nights a week. All right, this is a lot of work. I want to hear where this is headed. This is now more than a hobby. This is full time.
So those are my sales stats. In regards to my team, the highest rank that I hit was producer, which is the top 1% in paparazzi, which kind of unfortunately, that's actually only the middle of the compensation plan. So that in and of itself is a red flag that I didn't see then that I clearly see now. So
Can you explain what that means?
Highest rank that I hit was producer, which was considered one of the top leaders in paparazzi, and honestly held a lot of responsibility with teaching, training. You were held at a pretty high esteem. You were added to special groups within paparazzi. You received a monthly Facebook Live with the founders of paparazzi and all those things.
So you ranked, which was supposed to be a hobby. This was supposed to be a hobby for you. You're taking on all these responsibilities. You hit and again, I understand every company is going to cap out at a certain percentage, but they'll be able to allow you to build from within based on a unilevel binary system. So you're not getting in any of that stuff, right? Because you're going to tap out at a certain percentage, but your growth from your downline is it's exponential. It's huge, right? So if this was just a hobby, why did you take all this stuff on? I'm just trying to figure that out right now. You're going into full-time status.
So that's a little bit about me and my story. Let's go ahead and move on to the red flags. Okay, these are the red flags that were there the entire time, and I just didn't even acknowledge them. I didn't even know that they were a red flag. It was just normal while I was in my MLM. Okay, so the first red flag that I have for you is I began to see people for what they could do for me, for my business. It became very transactional, which was honestly extremely hard for me because I love people. And I began slowly to put people into these little buckets, okay? I was actually trained on this, that you put people in a category. So based off of apples, for example. So a red apple is somebody that is fired up, ready to go, start their business, whatever. Green apple means they need a little bit of more loving, more attention, more time, but they're not a complete no. And then you had the rotten apples. These were the people who were basically a lost cause and were not interested in your business at all. Okay, so I began unconsciously categorizing people into these categories. Also, paparazzi is a party-based business.
You should put people in categories. This is a capitalist society. We're not socialists. It's no shame in saying you are just not meant to be a business owner. Some people cannot be coaches. Some people cannot be sergeants of police departments. Some people can't be bar managers. You're going to have to eventually fire someone someday. You're going to have to discipline them. You're going to have to know who your worker is. If you have Johnny, who is out taking smoke breaks every 5 minutes, but you got Steve, who's in there bussing all the tables, working like crazy, you're going to give the shift that opens up to Steve first to make money instead of Johnny, who's lazy. This is not... I personally need to come to terms with this because this is a generational issue. You're a young woman. You just don't understand this because your generation has this mentality of everyone is equal and you're not. This is a very valuable business lesson that you're learning. People, they should be, what can you do for me? If somebody is in your business and they're getting a paycheck for your business, from their business, and their mindset is not, what can I contribute to better this company? They serve no fucking purpose in that job. None. They should get them out of there. You should always be looking at somebody by saying, what more can they do for me? Because you're going to ultimately pour yourself into them 10 times more. It's synergistic. The more somebody is going to show you their want, their value, their drive for the business, you're going to be pouring yourself in 1,000,000 times harder. You just weren't cut out for this business. It's as simple as that. But that's personality. It may not be in your persona.
So I was constantly like in my head categorizing if they would host a party for me or not, asking them to host parties, all of those things. So every time I came into contact with somebody new, in the back of my head, I was always thinking, would this person ever want to host a party for me?
Yeah, because you're vetting them. This is a good thing. You didn't marry just anyone, did you? I mean, your husband came along. He proved himself to you. He proved himself worthy enough to have your hand in marriage. Why would you treat your business partners as anything less than proving their worth towards what you're trying to build? This is very important.
Or join my team. That was my first immediate thought before I even got to know this person. And thinking back now.
I mean, I don't want to put this one in there too. You got a babysitter for your kid, right? Do you vet the babysitter and say, oh, anyone will do? Or are you listening silently and wondering, is this person going to neglect my child, leave him in the diaper? Are they going to feed my kid when need be? Are they going to beat my kid when I'm not looking? This is vetting. Why is business any different than anything else that's important in your life? These are things that people need to ask themselves.
This makes me extremely disgusted with myself. So I had this mentality of putting people into these buckets. Anytime I would reach out to somebody, I had another motive. I wanted to ask them to host a party or join my team, or if, checking in on them just to keep that connection, that relationship going. I have a notebook actually that had potential hostesses, potential recruits, and all those things. So they were probably on one of my lists.
God, you would have been, if you took this business seriously, you would have been amazing at this if you're this organized. Yeah, and the network marketing industry teaches people to be shady about stuff, right? What is wrong with saying, hi, it's Christine. Just to let you know, I'm looking for somebody to host a party tonight. I want to know what your availability is, if you're qualified. Hey, it's Christine. I am calling up. I want to see how you're doing. What do you need? This is a business call. We teach my team to be very direct. We want to avoid that feeling that you got with ulterior motives. If somebody talks to me, I had to tell somebody the other day, like, hey, maybe we could be friends. No offense. It's either business or pleasure with me. There's no friends. I don't have time for friendship. I want to grow in that area. So you would have been great in this business if you knew what you were doing.
Which is very common in MLMs. So while I was in the MLM, I recognized at the time that I didn't really like these feelings. So I actually spent almost $1,000 on some training to learn this love, serve, grow process, which really aligned with me, where you love people, you serve people, and as a result, you grow. Okay, so I knew while I was in the
You grow. They don't. You do. That was good. I agree with that. You can't love people, serve them, and expect them to grow in your business. As long as you're growing, great.
MLM, that I did have this icky feeling about what I was doing. But instead of questioning the business model, I thought that maybe something was wrong with me.
It's not the business model, kid. It's your tactics that you used. If you had been genuine off the bat and said, listen, this is a business call. This is why I'm calling to you today. Hey, listen, just to let you know, I've got you in the category of a go-getter. I've got you in what I call a red apple, right? You're out there. You're really going like crazy. I want to work with you on that. What is wrong with saying that? This is the problem that people have, and they blame it on the business model. This is where you're 100% wrong. All you have to do is say, listen, you got involved in my business. I've got you in a rotten apple category. And that means you're not showing interest. You're not working. You're not moving. You know, I'll be here for you when you decide to wind up changing. But right now, I'm severing our relationship ties. You would have felt so much better about this. But then that requires being an ass, being a bitch, being somebody who does not want to go ahead and ruffle people's feathers. You just didn't have the personality for this, but you had the organizational skills to fucking kill in this industry.
And that I just needed help on how I could feel better about this process. Okay, so second
business.
red
You
flag
don't
that
feel
I have
better
for you
about
is
it.
anytime that I would be pushing for a rank or an incentive, I would ask my team to buy jewelry. I would ask the people below me because my rank depended on how much jewelry they bought. I bought a lot of jewelry because of my high sales. That did not contribute to my rank at all. It's all based on the people below me.
Correct. That's the business model, because the deeper you go, the more the company's going to sell. Again, the number one goal of the company is to sell product. Let's continue.
So whenever I was trying to push for a rank or incentive, I would ask the people below me to buy. And often I would incentivize them to buy. So I would do a giveaway. And this is very common. I was trained to do this. Lots of people did this. This was normal practice. I would do an incentive, say something like, okay, I will give away 100 pieces of jewelry today, and you get an entry for every 50 pieces you buy, something like that. So anytime that I was trying to reach a rank, I would give away jewelry to my downline and or money, gift cards, etc., to try to get them to buy jewelry that they may or may not have needed.
How's that your problem? When I go to the car dealership, I need transportation. I need to get from point A to point B. I need 4 wheels, a steering wheel. Air conditioning's nice, and heat. Is it the salesperson's problem to sell me an Acura versus a Honda? It's the same car. $10,000 price sticker difference, right? But the salesperson wants to make money. I know they want to make money. If I get talked in to purchasing a car that's $10,000 more, is that his problem? Or did I see value in it because of the way that they presented it to me? So maybe if you would have looked at your team, and I don't know what your model is, could you have sat there and said, okay, if everyone down in my downline, my rank is based on their purchasing, well, what's the end result? It's for them to purchase so that they could sell, right? So instead of incentivizing your team, hey, I'm going to give you jewelry, which they may or may not need, do you not agree that it's probably they 100% needed to sell the jewelry they have? Could you have gone, all right, we're going to work exclusively this week, all with you, on selling your jewelry together so that they would have sold, they would have made money, that would have made you money in rank? It's just the same thing with a different presentation of value. It's not a scam. You just presented the wrong value.
But because I dangled that little carrot of 100 free pieces of jewelry, they often bought jewelry that they may or may not have needed. Okay, in regards to the incentives, this one makes me really gross, and I just feel so icky thinking about it.
Just to let you know, these are all your problems. There is nothing wrong with the business model so far that you've said. And to date, I have not heard from one anti-MLM YouTuber, Instagrammer who has ever said anything about the industry that is wrong, immoral, illegal, unethical. It's all the person who is involved in it. Everyone's an independent contractor. If I flat out tell one of my team members, hey, I'll sleep with you If you buy, if you buy X amount of product and that woman wants to sleep with me, I'm probably sure that I violated some bylaws there. But if she did, is that her value system right there? You are the one who presented the value. Again, you had the right structure. You really did. I wish you ran into better training. You would have destroyed it in this industry. You're very, very, very systematic. You would have done very well.
About it now, but there's one incident in particular. My upline was doing an incentive that if you reach the certain rank, which was actually the rank of producer, by the way, which I hadn't hit for several months. If you hit the rank of producer within the certain time period, I think it was about 3 months, you would be able to go on this retreat essentially with her. So I remember going live in my team page and rah-rah-rahing them to help me hit producer.
It doesn't work.
And in the back of my head, I was just like, why do they care if I hit producer? Like what?
God, you are going through so many of the tactics that so many people use, and it sucks. It's not fair. This is one of the more gooder anti-MLM videos I've seen, because she's not tearing it apart. She's legitimately talking about the tactics that are used that she didn't like. She hasn't insulted anybody yet. She hasn't gotten emotional over this yet. She's actually pretty professional, and she's pointing out things that she was trained so wrong on. This is the type of person who has a level-headed brain that we actually want in the industry, that we should have trained properly.
How does this benefit them? And it was cringe, and I'm sure we can react to that video later. And at the moment, I knew it was cringe. I knew that it was disgusting, but I did it anyway. So it was just extremely awkward for me to try to ask my team to do something to help me get on a trip that will not honestly impact them in any way.
I get it. The last company I was with, I watched the video, and it's still on his website. The leader of the organization hit what's called Black Diamond. And he's on there, and he does this video going, guys, we did it. We did it. We hit Black Diamond. And I'm going, who's we? You did. Your team elevated you to Black Diamond. There's no we in this. You're getting the money. You got the status. What does your team get? What you're talking about, I understand 100%. When it comes down to it, so if you want to hit this status in this retreat, I get that. And I'm just like you. I don't like that shit where it's like you go to your downline and say, hey, let's get this out there because I'm in a rank. I will tell my team, listen, I got to hit this rank. What can we do to have you hit whatever rank you need or make money? Because that's the only incentive that's in it for them. I will benefit from it. So if it's like end of the month, it's like, okay, I need these sales done. I'm not going to get on my team's ass and go, hey, we got to sell. It's what do you need from me so you can build? Because when you see that I'm working for you, because I tell my team all the time, I work for you. I can't make them pick up the phone. I can't make them call people. I can't make them get on the phone with me. I can't make them answer my call and say, hey, can I help you with calling anybody today? But it has to be transparent what the incentive is. I want to grow. I don't grow unless you make money. So I get it, but you just weren't direct. That's all.
But I remember specifically saying in that video, I'm going to learn so much and I can teach you so much, and this will just be such a good experience for me and you.
I get it.
Just so cringe. Okay. Number 3, I was constantly stressed. Constantly stressed. This never went away. In my 5 years, I was constantly stressed. There was no turning it off. Whenever I was not doing paparazzi, I felt guilty for not doing paparazzi. I feel like I lived in constant fear that I was either going to lose.
Okay, again, this is a personal issue. This isn't the company. This is not the business. This is a personal issue. I get it. I mean, shit, I think I worked like 21 12-hour straight days once as a cop in my 40s because I felt guilty. People were calling in sick when I should have said, fuck no, go find somebody else to cover. And it wasn't until like, year number 15, you're like, dude, go get somebody else to fucking cover. It's not my problem. This is a person. This is it. They took advantage of you because you're a good person. That's what this is. It's not business. You let personality get in way with it.
Lose my customers because I wasn't going live. They would go shop with somebody else, or my teammates. I felt like I was responsible for their success, and by not showing up, I'm not being a good example, that they would leave, essentially. So I was constantly stressed when I was not working paparazzi. And this was problematic because if in my story earlier, I explained that I grew a team pretty quickly. And I didn't really want a team. I didn't sign up for a team. I just wanted to sell this jewelry. And so I was given this team, had this responsibility that I didn't necessarily.
You were given a team or you build a team? Well, I truly don't know, but remember, you wanted it as a hobby. You should have put your foot down and said no. So again, everything so far, there's 14 minutes left of your video, and I want to be fair with you, but so far everything is a you problem. Nothing so far in this. You went in this with a hobby mindset. You didn't take this as a business seriously. You tripled your inventory after 1 year. You're a new mom. You've got limited time, and then you're using tactics that just didn't fit your nature. I understand that. The second I stopped trying to be like my upline, because my uplines tell me all the time, you can't duplicate. You're too militant. Your personality is too big. Your language is too colorful. Okay. The second I said, well, fuck this, I'm going to be me. Well, then that resonated with the people who wanted to do business with me the right way. And I didn't have to do the whole, luring a fly across the pond with honey when it should have been a pile of shit. This is a you problem so far. I haven't heard anything that says that the business is a scam.
Necessarily plan on. And also I started as a hobby. I wanted this to just be something that I did in my extra pockets of time, right? In my spare pockets of time, something that I could do for fun to build relationships, kind of get out of my icky loneliness. I instantly became a leader, somebody that people looked up to. And with that,
because you've got a good energy. You've got good energy and you've got very strong structured skills. You just got fucked.
Comes a lot of pressure and expectation, unspoken sometimes, it is spoken, but I felt like at first it was unspoken. I felt this desire not to let my team members down or my customers down. And that could be one of my faults. I am admittedly a people pleaser, and that probably did not help the situation because I wanted to make everybody happy.
That right there, that sums up why you air quotes failed in the business. That's the only reason right there. That's it.
But alas, that was the situation that I was in. Okay, so whenever I was not working paparazzi, I felt guilty, which then made me feel more guilty because I just joined this as a hobby. It wasn't something that was supposed to consume all of my thought life, my time, my energy, but quickly it took over everything, every aspect of my life. And I remember multiple times telling my husband, I don't have any hobbies anymore. Like, who am I?
Ask any small business owner out there. There is no personal life. There's no work-life balance. It's all life. It's all one. Your life is your work, 100%. Especially if you're an entrepreneur, it is war. You are focused on, and you took away from your husband, took away from your kids. Again, I want to hear what you have to say more. But so far, if this is an anti-MLM video, you mistitled it. This video should have been why my personality did not fit the network marketing industry. You really have to be fair about this. You're not being fair with the way you represent this industry because everything you're saying is a you issue, not the industry.
I feel like I am only Christy, the paparazzi consultant. And again, I didn't see those as red flags at the time. I didn't have hobbies anymore. Paparazzi consumed my life. It was everything that I did. I eat, breathe, everything paparazzi, sun up and sun down. And I find this ironic, but I joined paparazzi to kind of find myself again, to find my joy again. And it actually ended up being
Sadly, that's what a lot of network marketing leverages on. They leverage on the culture and the community. And they should be saying flat out, this is a business. We're looking to recruit you. We're looking to train you. We're looking to teach you to repeat this process. That's it. The culture, which I don't like, right? I don't like the current culture, which is we love everybody and this and that. Yeah, they love you until you're not making your 5 calls a day. It's very conditional. I don't like it. And that's why it's like I don't associate with a lot of people in this industry. It's get in, this is business 100%, and it's got to be done that way because my goal is to teach people independence. My goal is to serve others. Well, you serve others by teaching others how to serve others. And that's done through teachings, through sales skills, through cold market tactics, warm market tactics, presentation skills, health benefits from a company if you're within, they have a product, pitching, closing, objective handling, everything. You're teaching people independence, both financially, health, wellness, and you're changing the culture. It's not fair what a lot of people you guys are thrown into.
The opposite. I feel like I lost myself again at the end of my 5 years. Today, Christy, I still don't know who I am. It's like I'm starting all over. And that breaks my heart because I know I'm not alone. Okay, so next red flag, I was literally addicted to purchasing this jewelry. So with Paparazzi, new jewelry comes out every day, Monday through Friday at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. I would drop everything to look at new releases at 2 p.m.
So the company is phenomenal at marketing. The company is phenomenal at marketing. What's the job of a Snickers? It's get people buying their product as much as possible. Beer, get their people drinking as much as possible. Auto sales, you got to get a new car every 2 years. You're a consumer. You're a consumer, and you proved that their business marketing model was fucking phenomenal.
Even if I didn't plan on buying, I was live on the website at 2 p.m. to see what is available. Literally addicted. I remember being on vacation and dropping everything at 2 p.m. to go and shop jewelry. I remember I worked part-time for a little while and my shift ended at 2 p.m. and I remember I would stay at my desk and shop new releases religiously. So I was addicted to shopping this jewelry. Definitely looking back now, there was a lot of FOMO, fear of missing out. I wanted to know what was there, and I wanted to have the best of the best to make myself stand out as a consultant.
Every single thing you just said is marketing. Everything. And we're in network marketing.
Another red flag within this, and I
just don't know how that's a red flag. The company did their job. The company created a marketing campaign that put you in a position to want to have their product more. That company should be teaching every company in the world. If what you said is true, then they're probably the single greatest marketers in the history of the world, just based on the way you described it. So is that a network marketing problem, or is that a you problem? Just something to think about.
Really, really hard time with this. And my team had a really hard time with this. And I tried to stay positive for them and coach them through this process. But if I was honest, this just was not cool. So with Paparazzi, when you are shopping new jewelry at 2 p.m., you add the items into your cart, but if those items sell out, they will immediately be taken out of your cart. Immediately. And it's no longer available for you to purchase. So you had to order quick. Like I mentioned earlier, I had almost 6 figures in sales.
Again, whose fucking problem is that? Is that the company's problem or your problem? I bet you the company had that in a policy in writing, a sense of urgency. So are you saying that anytime a company has a fire sale, first come, first serve, that company should have been fair for everybody? This is generational. This younger generation has no clue what capitalism or business is.
So the quickest way, the most successful way for you to get these hot items that all paparazzi consultants wanted is you would add at least 40 to your cart because that qualified you for free shipping, checkout, and go. Okay.
You didn't need the free shipping, did you? You didn't have to, you could have done 20 and paid for the shipping, couldn't you have? Just an option.
Okay, because literally, I'm not even exaggerating when I tell you that items sold out in 10 seconds, 15 seconds sometimes. So if I was able to grab 40, add it to my cart, go check out, I was more likely to be successful. So 2 things are wrong with this.
Because you'd have more inventory to sell to your prospects. Let's hear what you say is wrong. Now remember, you didn't have to. You were not required to buy 40 pieces, but you got the free shipping. That's your justification. I want to hear the 2 things that are wrong.
1, not everybody can do this. Not everybody wants 40 of one necklace because a lot.
Do you think maybe then that they would pay the shipping that's required? Just a thought.
A lot of the people that were on my team did not have the sales that I did. A lot of people within paparazzi did not have the sales that I did. This method was not duplicatable for everyone.
No one says it was, and I bet you the company didn't say you must purchase a minimum of 40 pieces. You just said it. Purchase a minimum of 40 pieces, you get free shipping. There's a ton of businesses that offer that. If you go to Amazon, I think I go to Amazon if I order one friggin', I don't know what it is I need, necktie. But if I order 4 neckties, amount is going to qualify for free shipping. There's nothing immoral, illegal, unethical about what you just said.
So right off the bat, new consultants or consultants that didn't have high sales were at a disadvantage because they didn't get these hot pieces that everyone else, the big dogs, would get.
Again, you don't know sales, and some people could sell a pile of shit because of their ability to influence people. It's all how you perceive it, right? So you take a great qualified salesman and you remove him from an Acura dealer, or maybe he has to sell 2 cars a month to make his paycheck, and he goes over to Honda. He's got to sell 5 to make up that difference. If he's good at sales, he'll sell 5. This has nothing to do with the company, nothing to do with the product. It has everything to do with your ability.
Okay, so as a result, these new consultants, or just consultants in general as well, would shop from other consultants. I sold to a lot of customers, a lot of people who are not in paparazzi, but I also sold to a lot of consultants.
I want to hear what's wrong with this.
People who I knew were consultants, people who were on my team, people who I found out were consultants later, but consultants were the customers. So some of my sales were contributed to customers who would have ordered that piece in the back office at a discount if it would not have fallen out of their cart.
Isn't that what eBay does? eBay people would buy stuff from a company and then sell it on eBay at a marked up price. Let's continue.
So that is reason 1 why it's disgusting. Reason number 2.
It's business. It's not disgusting. It's business and it's capitalism, and your generation has no clue what this is, which is why you guys push for socialism, because you're lazy and you do not know how to work.
Is you spent all of that time and energy adding it to your cart. You are mentally prepared, so excited to show your customers this piece that you found, and you don't get access to it. Okay, as a leader, I had to train my team how this was a good thing. This was a good thing because when you got that piece, it made you stand out among everybody else. Toxic positivity.
No, that's leveraging an asset. You've got something nobody else does. Use it. It's not toxic positivity. It's finding the best in a circumstance to where you wind up positively influencing a potential customer. You have no idea what value somebody else might have in it. No clue. You might have the biggest piece of garbage jewelry out there, but some guy gets it and says, oh, my 10-year-old daughter may love this. You have no idea what his perception of the reality is of what your product is. It's not toxic positivity. It's called salesmanship.
Right? You had to turn everything into a positive light. So I had to train them.
Yeah, who the hell wants to buy from a negative salesperson? This jewelry sucks. I'm waiting for next month when the good inventory comes in. Okay. Nobody wants that.
This is a good thing because not all of us have the same inventory. You'll get it next time. When in reality, it did do a huge disservice to people who could not order in quantities of 40 or more. Then the consultants that could order in these large quantities would oftentimes sell it to the consultants that were not able to get it at new release time.
It's called smart entrepreneurship. Don't know what's wrong with that. Supply and demand is what that's called, and that's the basis around capitalism in itself. There's a demand for what I have, and I've got the supply. I'll get it to you. This needs to be taught in school. This is insane.
So that's pretty much it for that red flag. So I was addicted to ordering at 2 p.m. Items fell out of my cart, and I just had to be okay with it. And I sold to a lot of consultants who also had access to these pieces in the back office. However, it fell out of their cart because they weren't quick enough. Okay, number five is when they said it's just a numbers game. I heard this often. It's just a numbers game.
Every single business is a numbers game. Every single. If you had a coffee house and you had 10 regular customers, and that's it, you capped it off right there, right? John, Joe, Judy, Paul, Dave, Phil, all of them, right? 10. And they were your bread and butter. And based on the amount of times they came in and bought coffee, you're able to cover your nut and make money. At somewhere down the road, the coffee distributor is going to up his prices. Maybe John dies. Shit. Now you got to raise your prices so the other ones cover the cost of that. Maybe all of a sudden, ComEd changes their bill structure. Gas goes up. Your cost of your doing his business go up, and then your customers start leaving. Well, you focus solely on the 9 now left you have in your business shuts down. Don't you think it would have been a good idea to constantly going out and seeking customers over and over and over and over and over again? Because people die, they grow old, they move, they lose a taste for coffee, they go to another place. It's always a numbers game, no matter where you're doing or where you're at or what you're doing.
Looking back, obviously that is a bright, flashing red light.
Holy shit, and shove me in it.
If this is a numbers game and it only matters how many people you recruit or how many messages you send or how many people you ask to host a party, consequentially, did I say that word right? I don't know. Every person will become a number to you if it's just the numbers game.
And they should. They should, because here's the danger. Look at whoever poured into you, who you exploded for 5 years, and all of a sudden you have a change of heart and said, oh, this business is a scam, and you left. If they treated you anything other than a replaceable number, they fucked themselves. I wore a badge for years and years and years. It was a number. Someone else has my badge number now. You're always replaceable in any job you do on the planet. And the sooner this generation understands this, the sooner they'll accept their life.
So 2 people fall off this month. That means I need to go find 2 more. 5. I just got 5 new recruits. I'm ahead of the game. Next month I lose 10. It's just the numbers game.
100%.
With that logic, the more people you talk to, the more successful you will be. And to me, that completely negates the relational aspect that is preached on and praised.
Then you're not fit for this business. This business is not anti-MLM. This business is, I did not understand business and I got involved with network marketing and it was not for me. That's all this is.
MLMs constantly say, I'm building relationships, I'm making friendships. But if it's just
I ask my team, I'll tell them flat out, I am not your fucking friend. I get this, what you're talking about. I've done this, and I've said shit. You're not my fucking friend. We do not have a personal relationship. My job is to make you money. End of story. My job is to train you. That's it. So I'm sorry you went through this.
Numbers game, you cannot have a friendship with somebody.
No, you can't.
They are just a number to you. Oh, that's just disgusting to me. You're constantly needing to replenish the.
Some of you kids have a real world. You guys are young. You clearly haven't gone through life enough with betrayal and friendship and families and business. This is life experience. This woman's going to be a completely different woman 10 years from now.
Those that leave. Doesn't matter which rank you are at. If you're at the bottom, it doesn't matter. You need to constantly be recruiting. If you're at the top, it doesn't matter. You need to be constantly recruiting. Again, your rank is not promised for you next month. You start over on the 1st, and you have to work just as hard to maintain, let alone grow.
We have that in any business, even in law enforcement. It was, Chief, we used to say, Chief says all the time, it's not what you did for me yesterday. It's what are you going to do for me today? That's any business. How many traffic stops did you do last night? How many drug arrests did you get? How many? Okay, I got 3 felonies last night. Awesome. What are you getting tonight? Okay, it's business everywhere. Does that mean law enforcement's a scam? A lot of stuff I disagree with it on. So if a salesperson goes out and you get some guy, right? His quote is he's got to sell 15 cars in a month and he sells 15 in a day. Should he stop that first day and then forget the other 29 days in the month? Or should he go, hey, let's keep going with this momentum you got? This is work ethic and this is self-issues that you have in this business. That's all it is.
All right, last one I have for you, 6 red flag. I'm sure there's more, but I didn't want this video to be too long for you guys, especially because this is my first one.
Please don't do anymore.
I don't edit. This is a completely new ball game for me. I've never created like a YouTube video like this where I need to edit and all those things. So please give me grace as I learn this process. Like, I feel very passionate about speaking out about my experience and about this industry because I am genuinely disgusted with this industry. Okay, so last red.
How did you say you don't do edit? That was just a jump cut. I don't understand what that is. Don't be disgusted with the business, disgusted that you didn't know what you were getting into. It's the same thing as you wind up falling for a guy, you sleep with him, you put out, and all of a sudden he stops calling you, and you're like, I'm disgusted. You didn't ask me anything about myself. What if I told you this was just sex I wanted? This is not the industry. This is you guys who get involved in this. This is more proof that these anti-MLM people have no clue what they're talking about.
Flag that I have to mention today. I lived in constant fear that I was going to lose my customers or my team. So
Every business in America has that fear. Every business.
kind of alluded to this a little bit earlier where I mentioned that when I was not working paparazzi, I would feel guilty because my customers maybe were going to somebody else, or my team was like, oh, I don't like this anymore. Christy's not even working, so I'm not going to work. I felt this constant fear that I was going to lose my team and my customers. And this is a big deal in MLMs because, like, for the recruitment-based system, you have to have the people below you working or getting new recruits in order for you to make money.
Isn't that what CEOs do of like Starbucks, Walmart, Target? Okay, let's keep going.
So obviously, if they lose, that will impact your paycheck, which again goes to my point earlier. They're just numbers. These people are just numbers to us.
I'll let her talk.
When you are in the MLM. So this constant fear of not showing up being detrimental to your business. I felt like I constantly had to be present on social media, constantly showing up. You had to share pretty...
You mean you got to work? You have to work, right? Normally it's get up, get in a car, go to a brick and mortar, work that 8, 10, 12-hour day. You had to get online and advertise and market your business and product? Shit, life is rough.
Vulnerable parts of yourself at the expense of trying to relate to somebody else. So I felt like I had to...
So don't. What's wrong with saying this is business only? I'd like to show you what I do. If you see any value in it, great. If not, there's 329 million people in the United States. I'll find more. What's wrong with being direct? It works for me.
Share things with people. For example, anytime I would do an opportunity live, we share our why, we share our story. And my story is really painful. I joined paparazzi, like I mentioned earlier, because my friends left me. All of my friends.
That's like guys who get into the priesthood because their girlfriends leave them. It's a bad fucking idea. So you just admitted you got into a business because you were in a bad mental state. This was not going to be successful. You were looking for something that wasn't there. This is business.
Literally, we changed churches within the same church. Okay, so this is kind of going back to that cult-like mentality. But I didn't see those friends anymore. And so I was just dropped like a sack of potatoes. This is extremely hard for me to talk about. And I don't like the vulnerability that I felt each time I shared it. But I did it to try.
I agree with you because that's manipulation. And I don't like that either. I was involved with that in the beginning. There's video out there, I think, of an event where I was crying because of how great the team was. And I broke down. I'm like, this is but it was right at a time of a breakup. It was perfectly aligned for me being, they didn't willfully take advantage of me. I allowed myself to open up in that position to purge. And it was like, this is not business. So I get it, dude. I fucking get it. That's not good business. That's manipulation.
Try to relate to somebody else who was in the same situation that I was in. Because I didn't like feeling that way, and I didn't want them to feel like that. When I was in the MLM, I genuinely felt like paparazzi would give them that community, would give them that space to feel loved.
You have to create it. You have to create it.
I tried really hard to cultivate that community with my team. because of how hurt I was.
You probably didn't know. You could have branched off and said, listen, we are not going to manipulate. We're not going to oversell to each other. We're not going to do this. You don't have to buy the 40 pieces. We're going to build together. There's a lot you could have done. You just weren't taught it.
Was in the past from others. So I genuinely, when I was in the MLM, I believed what I was doing 120%. I believed it would benefit my new recruit. I'm still friends with several of my downline, and I do believe that that is because of the community that I did try to create. But my upline, she blocked me. And this hurts my heart, like literally hurts my heart. So I'll share this story really quick because I was so angry. So a couple of days ago, I was talking to my downline who has really bad health problems. She's been in and out of the hospital over and over, and that's what led her to leave paparazzi. She left about a month before I left paparazzi. She sent a message to our upline just thanking her so much for her guidance and help and all of that stuff. And my upline, her upline, said, "Oh, that's sad because you had a lot of potential." She said, "You had a lot of potential."
People are scum. You're just a good person who wasn't designed for business. I mean, if you got into competitive sports, you wouldn't be designed for that. If you got into competitive anything, you're not a competitive person. That's pretty much what that is.
Potential.
Let's let this finish up.
And my upline blocked her.
Yeah, upline suck, dude.
Blocked her.
Upline suck.
And I'm trying really hard not to get heated about it right now because this is the sweetest girl
pissed. You can.
Ever. She's so stinking cute, so caring, and she has so many health problems, but she has such a positive attitude and outlook on life, and this is how she was treated for leaving due to her health problems. So the community that I was going for when I started paparazzi, I still have some friends from my downline and everything because of it. It's all a facade. It was all a facade. All right, so that's all that I have for you for this video. Again, this is my first video. I would appreciate any constructive criticism, any questions, comments down below. If you related to me in any way, I would love it if you gave me bits and pieces of your story, your experience down below. I just want you to know that you are not alone with your experience. Your feelings are valid, your experience is valid, and you are worth so much more than how you were treated. And if you want, feel free to like this video, subscribe to my channel if you want to see more of this
content.
Wait,
are you marketing your network? Are you marketing on your network now?
I am Christy Marie.
Guys, that's it. That's the entirety of that video. I'll leave it at that. Most of these people who get involved with network marketing, they do not know business. And this is just another proof of it. You have to know why you're getting in the business to begin with. And there was nothing. She did not say one thing about the business model of network marketing. It was a scam. It was wrong. It was a fraud. Her video was probably the best one I've seen so far that highlights the personality that you need to have and the personality conflicts people have in the industry. Other than that, people just can't get over the fact that network marketing is completely valid, but for those who understand what the business is. So if you really have a passion to get in this industry, my suggestion is you study it. You read the book Business of the 21st Century by Robert Kiyosaki. Learn what this business is, and you'll be successful. Hope this video had value to you guys. And until then, I will see you on the next episode of Bull of MLM, Network Marketing Warfare.